Hey, all you writers out there, we are back with another edition of Elizabeth Ann Atkins of Two Sisters Writing and Publishing and our superstar author, Joanie Lindenmeyer. And and today we're going to tell you some tips on how to create your book cover. It all starts with an idea, and the actual process of coming up with the idea is absolutely magical. So, Joanie, welcome.
Hi there, Elizabeth. Welcome to you too, and happy Friday. And I love our topic. We always come up with something that is just pertaining to what we're doing and just absolutely just fun.
Yeah, it's really exciting. So, as you know, everybody, Joni and I are writing two books together after the great success of her first book, Nun Better, an amazing love story that I coached her to write. Then I edited and we published it all under a year. Amazing bestseller in paperback, hardcover, and ebook. And so Joni and I exemplify the process of teamwork. And that's why we're going live every Friday here on the Two Sisters Writing and Publishing YouTube channel to help you learn everything you need to know to write, publish, and promote your book successfully. So, Joni, let's talk about how you conceive the book cover design. You have had this magical process three times now. So, can you talk about for None Better first, how you conceived the cover with very unique imagery?
Oh my gosh, Elizabeth, I think it boils down to I sleep. Because
Sleep?
then when I sleep, I have these incredible dreams and they are so lifelike and they are real, they are in color. I can feel what the dreams are showing me and teaching me and guiding me through. And it's just phenomenal. So I know it must be a part of my prayer life. It must be a gift. It must be something beyond me when I see something like that. And so that's where my inspiration comes from. I think part of it is related to um, just being open to what can come from, and it could be, mine are nighttime dreams, okay, but I know many people do daytime dreams, and they are inspired by what they can see and feel in a daytime dream, and mine just happen to be at nighttime. So that's where my vision comes through. And like I did this last week, it was like it was at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I know you're in Detroit time, and it was like right away I just thought, I've got to text Elizabeth, call me, I've got to tell you what I've seen. And
Yes.
that was my joy and my excitement. And so I can't tell everybody right now what it is because we're working on it. We're working on it.
Yes. So, Joni, this is really powerful for all the authors out there or aspiring authors. Trust the process of dreams and being guided in a divine manner to receive the vision. So, do you give your brain a prompt or ask spirit or whatever your process is before sleep to show you something, or do you just trust that it will come up?
Oh boy, do I give it a prompt? I well, I guess I just say, "Hey, Lord, it's in your hands. If you have any wisdom for me or any ideas, I'd love to hear them or see them." And
Uh-huh.
that's about it. And then it's like to sleep I go, and it's like when I wake up, it's just fabulous. It's just
Uh-huh.
fabulous when it happens. And I don't know when it's going to happen, you
Mhm.
know. And I guess that's part of the gift, huh?
Yes, yes. So Joni's Christian, so she says Lord. But for all of you out there, you ask whatever source, whether it's your own creative brain, your spirit, the cosmos, the universe, angels, ancestors, universe, whatever you call upon for that infinite power where our creativity comes from. Ask that, ask them, and it will answer. And again, you don't have to ask immediately before you go to sleep. Just put it out there in general. I'm writing
Yeah.
this book. I need a vision from my cover. Please help me. And then it may come in your sleep. Joni, what is a daytime dream? You mentioned that. What does that mean?
A daytime dream is where um Carol used to call them love moments, love breaks, and where you sit and you do nothing and you just don't think. You don't think, you stare at something. Maybe it's a picture on a wall, or maybe you're staring at your, I don't know, you just stare at something and you just let your brain and your thinking powers go away. And you just think of happy love moments. And when that happens, it's like this whole universe just sends all these loving things to you. And that could be in remembering hugs and kisses in childhood, or it could be something that happened that morning and you were just so grateful for the sunshine, or you're grateful for the heat in the house, or you're grateful for something. And that love break, that is what leads to then this daytime dream of wherever your heart goes. It's just a daytime dream, and you're not asleep, but
Yeah.
you're awake, and um you're just open to receiving love, I guess.
I
Sounds
love that.
weird, but
No, so I love the way you describe that, where you can just sit quietly and zone out and just turn off all
yeah,
devices so you're not distracted, and set the intention
right.
that I'm going to focus on receiving the image for my book cover. But it sounds like meditation to me. So whether you use the term meditation, getting still and quiet and going within and connecting with whatever higher power you believe in, whether it's your higher self or God, universe, source, angels, etc. If you believe in spirits, you can connect with a great artist from the past who's not now living in spirit and ask their guidance. It
Yeah,
all works,
yeah.
whatever your beliefs are. So whether you're sleeping or waking, it's really about believing that you will receive a brilliant vision that is unique. And so, Joanie, you've had these visions come to you, and they're so vivid, they're so clear, and they're so unique. And that's the beauty. You're not copying anybody else's work. It's
No,
all
no.
divinely guided, like a flashpoint, an image in your mind. So, in addition to that, Joanie, your book, Nun Better, An Amazing Love Story, is a very unique story, never been told before. It's your memoir about your 40-year adventure with Carol, your life partner and wife, who passed in 2022. And so, Joanie, talk about how you created this artwork with the help of your sister, Gail, that has all the details that symbolize your lives together.
Oh my gosh. Well, my sister Gail is just phenomenal. She is an artist. She is she's my soul sister, I guess is what I want to say. And so when I told her I was writing this book, and she said, "Well, let me jot down a few things." And so she came out with this image of Carol and I committed to each other. And of course, she knew Carol for all my life, and so the fun that radiates from Carol and the fun that radiates from me, as well as the endearing holding and entwining of our hands and the way that we looked and gazed at each other, she was able to put all that together with our symbols of Carol's luggage, because she loved to travel. Carol always wore hats, so you have to have her real hat right there. She had her pink socks, yep, and then her pink socks and her sandals that were colorful, and of course she always wore bling. She had jewelry every which way. Half the time I think every single finger on her hand had a ring on it, and her bracelets and her necklaces, and she was just a blingy lady. She loved that. And then you have the opposites attract kind of thing, and you've got Joanie with a whistle around her neck. You've got the basketball. You have my Nike tennis shoes with my pink shoelaces, my badminton, my fishing pole, my action oriented kind of things. And again, it goes back to our play and our endearing love. And that's why it's an amazing love story, because we used to use that word all the time. You are amazing. You are amazing. And we'd say that back and forth. And we never had any problem saying I love yous or anything like that. So that's sort of a common thing in my world, is to say I love you. And maybe I say it too often, too much, but I don't think you can ever say it too much.
Right,
And so
right,
anyways, that's the book cover. The color is magenta. I love color. And I am actually color deficient, so I have a really hard time with dark greens, blacks, browns, and dark green, dark blacks, browns, greens, and dark blues. So oftentimes if I have socks or if I have clothes, it's like, I'm not sure what's going together. And so I love the pink because it was really simple for me. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
anyways, that's
love
the
it.
book cover. And I'm so gracious to Gail. And then from there, it went to our teamwork, Elizabeth, because it went to Deborah and then Tara, who along with Gail. So you think about that. Deborah, Tara, Gail, the artist, you, the book pro, me, the rookie, and Catherine in there. And so there were 6 of us that were working on this book cover to make sure that the font was right and the colors were right and the pictures were displaying who we are and who we wanted to share with people.
Mhm. So let's just let everybody know who all these people are. So Gail is your real sister, and she's an artist.
Yes.
Catherine is my sister. She's my business partner and wise advisor. Um, Deborah Purdue of Illumination Graphics in Merlin, Oregon, is our graphic designer who puts it all together. So she took the artwork. And then Tara, she is an artist that Deborah works with, who's amazing. And she finalized the image that Gail provided the first draft of. So all of these people together, and then lots of back and forth with me and Joanie. Do you like this? Do you like this? How's this? And in fact, the first version of the cover, Joanie was not happy. It didn't convey everything, but that's the beauty. It's a work in progress. So we all went back
Right.
to the drawing board. We had a team call. I remember that vividly.
Yes.
We had a team
Yes.
call to figure out what was Joanie not liking about it and what could be improved. And guess what? Version 2 hit the jackpot. Joanie loved it. We all loved it, and she's happy. And so then for the back, Joanie, can you talk about your
Yes.
back cover?
Oh my gosh, my grandniece Cammie, Brad and Tina's 7-year-old daughter, had drawn a wonderful picture of a rainbow with Aunt Carol and Aunt Joni underneath it. And Cammie at 7 or 8, she doesn't have a clue that rainbows go with LGBTQ, which I think is darling because it's just color. It's from a kid's perspective. And Carol and I were just such kids. And I love the natural drawing that Cammie did. And I have pictures of her that Tina sent to me of Cammie actually sitting down and painting and coloring and making it all happen. And it's just heartwarming because it's not just a picture. Oh boy, it's the love that transfers when people really jump in and help you or want to be a part of it. So it's not just my book, it's our book. And I say that all
Yeah.
the time. It's our book.
Yes, yes. Um, so I mean, uh, so Joanie, that having that special artwork contributed by your family member that's so pretty and matches the colors and everything. I love, love, love. And then of course it's very important to have a summary of the book. And what we have a very brief summary and then 2 review quotes on the back cover. And so that worked out really well. Having
Endorsements. Mhm.
is that
Endorsements, or do you call them reviews? I just call them endorsements.
same thing.
Same thing. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And it gives the reader, so if somebody picks this up and they don't know who you are or what this is, they read a few things on the back, real simple, real brief, but powerful. And they are like, oh, I need to read this. So
Yeah.
that's the goal. So all of these things. And then speaking of the cover, if you have a hardcover, you have a book jacket. So the book jacket has to have a summary on the front flap, which I wrote and Joanie approved. And then on the back is more summary, or this one says an excerpt. We have an excerpt of the book from the book on the back flap. So again, if someone is picking up the book, they've never don't know anything about Joanie, they can read this excerpt and say, oh wow, I really like this. Secondly, a lot of authors choose to have their photo and their bio here on the back flap. It's your choice, it's your book. That's the beauty of working with a hybrid publisher like us, where you get a lot of creative
Yeah.
control over what
Yeah.
goes on your cover, as opposed to if you're working with a bigger publisher, their art department's going to decide how it goes. They do the layout and format, etc. So let's see. Let's look at one more book. So here's my memoir.
Can I jump in there?
Sure, of course.
I guess I just want to say it is such a blessing to work with you and Catherine and your team, because like you just said, it always came back, and you always said this, Elizabeth. It's like, it's your book, Joanie. What do you want? Do you like it this? I felt like I was in an eye exam. Do you this way or this way? This way or this way? This
Yeah.
way? This way? What do you want? You know, and sometimes they were so similar. You ever had that when you have an eye exam? And then I would say, Elizabeth, what do you think? What will be the best? You know, and so you were able to put out your opinion and your thoughts. But again, you always left it up to me, always left it up to me. And that freedom just reminds me of God and free will. God gives us all the time the free will to be and do how we want to live our life. He's not going to mandate that you do this, this, and this, and this, but he is there. I say he, could be she, could be higher power, could be Lord, whoever, but it's that freedom. And that is such a gift that you have, and Catherine has, and Two Sisters Writing has, to let that flow, because you believe in that as well. Oh, it's phenomenal. So you're
Thank
going to
you.
jump into your books, but before we jump into your books, okay, I know it's like I had to get to know you as I was writing my book and discovering my book cover. I thought, well, I got to know who this lady is. What has she done in the past? What has her family done? And so first book I ordered was this one here. I thought, who is this lady's mom? I've got to know her family. I got to know what she's really coming from and where she's coming from. And so I love this book here of your mom. I love the cover because it's like, oh, I got to meet your mom. That's how you know, so it's just incredible. And then on the back of it, I love this part too, because it shows your family. You know, this is your mom, your father, your sister, and you back when you were just, I don't know, just a few years ago. And anyhow, you know, it was just absolutely beautiful to get to know it. So then I thought, okay, what's the next one? What's the next book I want? Well, I wanted to order and to have Catherine's book. I kept hearing about your authorship, but my gosh, this is like the best. And I only have one in the series, but talk about, oh my, this one gets to your heart because it has to do with identity. It has to do with who you are being judged, discriminated against, or whatever. And not because of LGBTQ issues, not because of church issues, but because of a real basic thing. Hair led to biracial. And I just love this book. So I got to know Catherine. This is how I got to know Catherine. Then you come, and yes, I ordered your book to know more about you. And so I love this. I love the title, and I always mispronounce it, but all I know is that God knows. God knows, you know, but you have your picture of you to represent your insights as a spiritual woman, which is really, really, really cool. And so then I thought, okay, well, that's her latest. She's been writing for 20, 30, 40 years almost, not quite 40. I don't know, maybe we're at 8 and 10 writing stuff. But anyways, and so I ordered a couple more books. And it's like I kept looking at these covers, you know. When oh my gosh, this one oh, one was so, and every scene, and I know I'm not supposed to promote your books because this is more of our podcast, but you know what? I had to get to know you because that's what triggered what I was willing to share and do. And I knew what you were capable of doing. I love the color of this, by the way. It's like a peachy cream orange thing. It's like an orange sickle. And I just want to lick it, you know, like an orange sickle popsicle. It's just, I don't know. It's just really, really cool, you know? And then the last one was this one here. And that one just blew me away. Dark Secret. So you guys, if you're watching this right now, you know, I'm hanging out with some one-time author kind of person. Elizabeth and Catherine run twosisterswriting.com. They are a phenomenal business. I am just one of many. I'm like their little number 40, I think I am. I'm number 40. But you know what? What they do and what they write about is true stuff, fun stuff, and they put their heart and soul in everything they do. And I keep learning and learning.
I'm gonna cry. Thank you, Joanie. You're so sweet.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's
Wow.
truth, Elizabeth. And sometimes, you've just got to say thank you. And all this hard work you've done for years is your career. It's coming to the head because, there's more than books. And so my last prop, and this is my most favorite. I never knew you were a movie star. You were a movie star. You are a movie star. And this, at first, the first 15 minutes of watching this movie, I'm going, where is she? Where is she? I don't see her in there. See any curly hair? And so they must have straightened your hair out for this movie. But
I
oh
did.
my God. And I love the whole premises of this movie. Anything is possible. And you wouldn't belong to any script or any movie production unless it meant something to you. That's what I've learned about you. And this is like Elizabeth Atkins's motto. Anything is possible.
Wow,
That is your
Joanie.
motto. That is what I picture for you.
It's
So,
true.
so people out there, I got this on Amazon and it was pretty darn cheap. I don't know if you can buy any of these things from Elizabeth at Two Sisters Writing. She'll have to tell you all that. But all these things are great Christmas gifts. And if you don't want to buy Nun Better, you've already heard my story over and over again. Get to know Elizabeth, get to know Catherine, get to know her mom.
Oh, Joanie, that was so beautiful. Thank you.
You didn't know that was coming, did you?
Not at all. Not
I
at
didn't know it
all.
was coming either.
But it's
That's a
relevant.
daydream.
Thank you, Joanie. It's so relevant to our topic of a book cover today
Yeah,
because thank you. Can you hold up my mother's book cover real quick, please?
absolutely.
So my
Absolutely.
mother is a retired judge. She was born into an Italian mother and a black man. They were not married. And the Italian family said there will be no N words in this family. So my mother was put in foster care, and her birth name was Rosemary. And so she was adopted by a black family. That picture up there is the first baby picture of her when she was adopted. And she grew up, but she was abused by the adoptive mother and a boyfriend. And then she married my father, a former Roman Catholic priest in the 60s. So interracial, leaving the church, huge scandal. And then there's our family, me and my sister and my parents in the late 60s when we were both babies. And then this is my mother, the big picture of her as a judge. She was chief judge of 36th District Court, the huge municipal court in Detroit. So she went, the triumph of Rosemary is the triumph of this biracial baby rejected because of race, adopted, abused, struggle, scandal, religion, race. But then the triumph is happy marriage, happy family, two successful daughters, and she became chief judge of one of the biggest courts in the country. So that's the triumph. And guess what? We're developing it into a screenplay to shop to Hollywood as a feature film. And now that the writer's strike is over, we've got the green light to do that. So it will be a movie and it's very powerful. But thank you, Joanie. Thank you. But the point of the cover is my mother was adamant about that was her vision, her in the most triumphant position as the chief judge. And then the three photos: baby, rejected, adopted, husband, scandal, priest, which was very uncommon back in the 60s. Then the race issue was a whole nother thing. And then the family, which was everything. And then the big picture of her at the pinnacle. So the point is, she loved this. And can you flip it over, Joanie, please?
Yes. Yes.
The family photo, that's us, me and my sister. We were in high school, and that's our parents. And that was in our backyard of our family home that was so joyous. And so that photo summarizes our happiness. Catherine and I were straight A students. We both went to University of Michigan, English majors, got master's degrees in writing. And so now we have our company. So that photo symbolizes everything. She was already a high-ranking lawyer at the time. Daddy was being Mr. Mom, helping out with the kids a lot. And so it was all joy. My mother was adamant, but there were people who said, oh, you should change your cover to make it more commercially, blah, blah, blah. And my mother's like, no, this is my cover. So there will be people who try to dissuade you based on whatever their own biases or perceived expertise in the industry might be. Maybe it has some validity, maybe it doesn't, but follow your heart. It's your book. Now, when you go with a big publisher
Yes.
like
Yes.
White Chocolate and Dark Secret that you showed, Joanie, their art department designed everything. I had no say so. If I strongly disliked something, I could protest, but I didn't. But their art department did this, and their art department did that, and they did the St. Martin's Press Tor Forge imprint that published my first three books. The third one was with Billy D. Williams, the actor. It's called Twilight. It's a beautiful love story that takes place in Brazil and Los Angeles. Um, and then for the paperback version, they do a whole nother artwork for the covers. So anyway, you don't have the creative control when you go to one of the big four publishers. However, they pay you. So that's a whole different talk. But my point is, when you go with a smaller publisher like us, a hybrid, you get to do like Joanie did, create according to your vision. So now, Joanie, before we wrap up, I want to talk about the process for our next two books and the collaboration, because you've had these two visions that are very, very vivid, and you have to stay tuned and see what we create. We just met with the graphic designer about it, so we'll do the big reveal another day when we have that. These books are coming out in June of 2024. One is an LGBTQ plus book, so that's Pride Month, and the other one is still relevant then, and it's about religious healing. And so, Joanie, do you want to talk a little bit more about the collaboration? Because like you'll come up with something, and here's an example. Joanie was like, let's use the same font as Nun Better, but the vision of this book doesn't really lend itself to, we need bigger blockish letters. So can you talk about just the constructive criticism and open collaboration energy that we share?
Yes. And I guess I don't see it as constructive criticism at all, Elizabeth. We are all on the same team. We're all on the same page. And so just like when you play pickleball, if the ball is down the middle, the person on the left side of the court that is right-handed will take it. If it's a left-handed, it just all depends. And so you just go with the best gifts and talents of every individual. And when you throw out and throw out and throw, I don't want to say throw up because that's not a good word. When you share, when you share whatever is on your heart and whatever is on your mind, and you're doing it in a team atmosphere, it's not about competition. It's not about my way or the highway. It's about, what do you think? How does it hit you? What's it feel like? And I think our collaboration all the time, Elizabeth, is that's what it's about. Is what do you think? What are your feelings? And I really want to know, because that's what makes me better, and it makes you better, and it makes the product better.
Yeah,
And so that's where we involve Catherine and Deborah and Gail and whomever we need to at a particular time for that. Does that make sense?
absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I love it. So yeah, Joanie, you're so amazing and easy to work with. But I just want to convey to everybody, when you're working with somebody, everybody's going, or a team, people have different opinions. And then
Yeah.
we don't have this, but some people have power plays where they need to be right. And it's just really important to team up with people who are open and agreeable to collaborating. And I don't want to say compromising, but in other
No.
people's experience, it might be compromising for those who want to be right or have strong opinions. So we don't have that, thankfully, but I'm just saying, when you decide to do teamwork with people, make sure they're super fluid in their ability to work with you and be open. And again, if you're the author,
What does that mean when you say fluid?
um, fluid means uh to stay in the flow of the creative vision and not take anything personally or critically,
Oh,
or
yeah.
oh, that was my idea and you didn't like it. That's not us, but that those are personality traits that exist. And I'm
Uh-huh.
just learning other people when they work in a team to be able to finesse, navigate all the personalities and um avoid working with people who are going to be the always, I have to be right, my way or the highway type thing. Um,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
that's
Okay.
not for us, Joanie. That's just, I'm letting
Yeah,
people keep it real out there, when they want to team up with someone.
right.
And again, the boss is the author. The author is in charge. It's your book. So
Wow, I never looked at it that way. I'm the boss. I'm the boss. Oh boy,
now, if
I
you're
never looked at
co-authoring,
it.
I know that's what's so awesome about you, but we're co-authors, so we have equal say so. But if
Yeah.
somebody is coming to us, like with None Better, you were the boss. Now, if there was something editorially wrong, like for example, permissions, if you use some image that someone else owns, or if you get it from a stock site, you have to license the copyright and pay for it. Some sites are copyright free with free, no cost, but you have to be aware of the legalities around image use. So, for example,
Mm-hmm.
if you wanted to use a logo here of, just say, the Nike swoosh on the basketball or the gym shoes or something, can't do that. You have to get written permission, which would probably be very expensive if you got it at all. So, I'm here to warn as the publisher of any legalities in the book cover design, you know. And
Yeah.
so, anyway, that's a whole nother topic that we should talk about.
Oh
Is
my gosh. And there's always something more, isn't there? Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
you think you understand one thing and then it leads to something else and it leads to something else. And that's where your wisdom through the ages, you and
mhm,
Catherine both have just excelled for this. And back to co-authoring, I remember sitting in my prayer corner and I had asked Jesus and Carol, like, well, should I write another book? And it was an automatic, yes, you need to write another book. And I remember talking to them out loud as I'm looking outside, going, no, 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 it's not just me. This has got to be Elizabeth and my thing. And if she says yes, I'll go for it. If she says no, I'm not going to do it. And so I remember, calling you up and you were like, yes, yes, we can do that. I'd like to do that. And so this co-authoring is a new experience for you. And it's a new experience for me. And it seems like our collaboration seems to be working pretty good. And I hope it continues. And we're just going to keep involving other people and keeping our spirits clean and good. And we are on the way, everybody. This is pretty awesome time.
yeah, it really is. Awesome, Joanie. You're so upbeat. I'm such a gift to work. It's such a gift to work with you. Uh,
Thank you. Likewise. Likewise.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, everybody, we hope we've provided some helpful tips for you
Mhm.
today on how to go about conceiving the vision for your book cover. Another tip is to, of course, study the market and go see what's hot in your genre right now. What's hot right now might not be hot in a year. So, you can look at the trends and see what's popular, but trust yourself. If you come up with something really unique, just go for it. You might be the next trendsetter in book covers. So, with that,
Yeah.
we would like you to please check out all the other talks we do every week here on the Two Sisters Writing and Publishing channel. We've talked about so many different things pertaining to writing, publishing, and promoting a book, all free for you to succeed as a best-selling author, like Joanie Lindenmeyer and myself, Elizabeth Ann Atkins of Two Sisters Writing and Publishing. Please visit twosisterswriting.com and I'd be happy to answer any questions. I'm a book coach. I can help you write that book in 6 months and then publish it for all the world to read. So, Joanie, do you have any closing remarks or final statements?
Nope. This was awesome.
Awesome. Excellent. So, we'll see all of you next week and we wish you happy writing. Be well.
You bet. Happy hugs. Lots of love.
Thank you, Joanie.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Elizabeth.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You